Good morning, everyone. Have you ever done something that you regret and want to redo it? Have you ever wondered what your future is going to be like? Have you ever wanted to travel through time? So time traveling has always been an intriguing topic for human beings. So today, I would like to introduce some simple concepts about time traveling. First, I will explain, give a definition, and then I will move on to the three possible ways of time traveling. And then in the end, I will wrap up my speech with a short conclusion. So, time traveling has always been a trend for movies, dramas, animation, and so on. So it's not hard for us to understand what is time travel, right? So according to Cambridge Dictionary, time travel means the idea of traveling into the past or the future. Duh, you might say. So the real problem here is how. Maybe you want to borrow a hand from J-Show or a magical closet. What about buying a remote control from Adam Sandler? No, you just need some science. So how does time travel work? Before getting into the detail of the ways, I want to explain more about time, the concept of time. So we all know that three dimensions are length, width, and height. The fourth dimension is time. So this is how basically it looks like, the concept. So human beings are three dimensions creatures, and our physical world is constructed within these three dimensions. That's why we cannot see or control time. We can only feel it. However, scientists have found some possible ways to travel through time. So the first way would be travel at the speed of light. According to Einstein's special relativity, 狭义相对论, when you travel at the speed of light, the time goes slower for you relative to the outside world. So this is not just a thought, it has been proven. Scientists put two clocks, one on the flying aircraft and then one on the ground. And guess what? The flying clock ticks slower than the clock on the ground. To put it more simply, when you move faster, time goes slower. So if an astronaut travels at the speed of light for a week, then the time on the Earth will have passed 100 years. And then the second way would be a black hole. According to NASA, a black hole is a place in space where the gravity pulls so strong that light cannot even escape. So why is this gravity so strong? Because all the matters are squeezed into the tiny space, right? And then this can happen when a planet dies. So again, according to Einstein's general relativity, 广义相对论, the stronger gravity you feel, the slower time moves. So, for example, right now, the time actually goes slower for your feet than your head because the gravity. So as you get closer to the center of the planet, this phenomenon will be more obvious. So this actually has been proven too. So in 2010, American scientists put two precise atomic clocks, one on the shelves, really tall shelves, and then the other one on the ground. And guess what? Again, the clock on the ground ticks slower than the clock on the shelf because the clock on the ground feels a little bit stronger gravity than the other one. So, yeah, to put it more simply, when gravity gets stronger, time goes slower. And the black hole is just right where the gravity is really, really, really strong. So the time there goes really, really, really slow. So let's say if an astronaut can circle around a black hole for 5 years, then the time for him will for the time for human on the Earth will have passed 10 years. So when he comes back to the Earth, he will be 5 years younger than all the people, right? Too slow? Then let's try the other way, wormhole. What is a wormhole? Does anyone know? Wormhole actually in Chinese is 虫洞. So wormhole is actually a theoretical passage through space-time that can create a shortcut across the universe. So let's say this is our universe. like this. And then A is where I am, and B is where I want to go, no matter time or space. And then now, a wormhole is an energy that can fold up my time, space-time, and then create a shortcut right from A to B. So now, if I want to travel from A to B, instead of going all over from here to here, I can just take the shortcut right here. So this is basically how the concept is. So many scientists believe that wormholes are constantly popping in and out at a quantum scale, 量子的大小 far smaller than atom scale, 比原子还小. So what we have to do is to capture one wormhole in your house and then flat it to a human scale. Sounds easy, right? No. However, not a single wormhole has been found yet. And even if we found one, we still have to inflate it. And the inflation needs an energy called negative matters. And this matters hasn't been found either. So although this way still has a long way to go, it's still regarded as the fastest way for a human to travel through time. So in conclusion, there are actually 3 ways to travel through time: speed of light, black hole, and wormhole. So did you notice that I only mentioned to the future, not to the past? Why? Because if you want to travel to the past, we need more technical skills, and we might confront some paradox, like grandfather paradox. Grandfather paradox means that if I travel to the past and I kill my grandfather, will I still exist? So this is some paradox we might have to fix before we want to travel to the past. So although these methods are still in theoretical phases, humans beings fantasy for time travel will still hover around our minds. And just like a famous physic, Stephen Hawking once said, today's science fiction is often tomorrow's science fact. So what are the chances for space and time warps? So if you are a fan of time traveling, then don't give up, because it might happen in the future. And this is my reference, and thank you for listening.